Moving along now, in this week's Media Monday, we're asking how far can a brand's reputation fall? Toyota is in the spotlight, and our next guest says its image as being #1 for quality is now at stake. Joining us from London is Jez Frampton. He is the global CEO of brand consultancy Interbrand. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Welcome to the program. Now,
great pleasure. How are you today?
Good, good. Thank you. Now, even though the Toyota recall widened in the past few weeks, this sudden acceleration of Toyota vehicles has actually been a problem for a decade now. Where did Toyota go wrong in managing this crisis?
I think it's a bit early to say that they've actually gone wrong yet. I mean, one of the things that will depend on the next few days, I would suggest, of how well they do deal with it is how they are seen to have handled it by the American and indeed the people around the world. Toyota's brand will help prevent some of the risk of this, the debacle, shall we say, over the last few weeks. And what we expect to see is probably a short dip in sales, but if they handle it right, their reputation will remain intact, and I think it'd be fair to say that Toyota will continue to sell well into the future. What matters, though, is how well they are seen to listen to their public, to the industry, and to what's going on around them. Certainly, it would appear that they're doing everything within their power to try and prevent things going terribly wrong for them. They've recalled vehicles, they've put a halt to their production, and now they're talking about sending kits out to people. I think at the end of the day, what will come down is whether or not we judge them to have done sufficiently to prevent it. Bizarrely enough, quite often in situations like this, what you'll find is that a company will come out of it the other end with a greater degree of trust associated with them than perhaps they had when they went in.
Okay, well, let's see if that happens. There has been a case of he said, she said with CTS, which is the company that makes the faulty gas pedal. Now, even if it were CTS's fault, shouldn't Toyota have avoided pointing its fingers at them?
I have to agree with you there. I think ultimately, as customers, our contract, be that reputationally or otherwise, is with Toyota. We bought the car from them, and we trust them as a brand to actually put together a vehicle that will work for us every day. So I think it would be much better for them to stand up, take responsibility, which they have, but whether it really gives them any kind of benefit by pointing that finger at anybody else, I'm tempted to agree with you and say they really should keep the focus on themselves, deal with what people are saying, make sure that they are listening very carefully to what's going on around them, and react as fast as they possibly can. All people ever look for in these situations is honesty, integrity, and speed.
Interbrand ranked Toyota first among automotive brands for the last decade, with the Toyota brand worth $31 billion, but has been falling in recent years. Do you expect to see that continue? I mean, has Toyota been resting on its laurels for a couple of years now?
I think it would be fair to say that the competition have got tighter. Brands like Hyundai are starting to show, perhaps, you know, that Toyota aren't unassailable in their position. However, $31 billion in brand value is not to be sneezed at. They're #8 on our table right now. And there are three things that contribute to brand value as far as the way that we look at it. The first is obviously related to profitability. We're looking at earnings, which are related to the brand. The second is what we call the role of brand, which is how important the brand is in the purchase decision process. And certainly in this instance, if they don't get it right, the brand will become less of a driver to purchase than it has been in the past. And the last is to do with loyalty. How long into the future people are liable to continue to buy Toyota products because of the fact that they are Toyota. And again, this is another area where they could be affected. I think this is an opportunity perhaps as a wake-up call for Toyota. I don't think they've rested on their laurels, but I think this is one embarrassment they probably could have done without.
Certainly. Thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Jez Frampton. He's the global CEO of brand consultancy Interbrand over in London.